This week's parsha is Tsav. Like the previous one, it deals with sacrifices. But it deals with sacrifices in a rather different way. If you look at Vayikra, the order of the sacrifices went like this. First of all, you have the Olah, the burnt offering, which is a direct commitment to God. Then you had the Mincha, which was more of a thanksgiving rather than a ceremonial offering. Then you went on to Shlamim, which was a peace offering in which you share with other people rather than it just being in relationship to God. And then finally you go on to the series of sin offerings, intentional, innocence, accidental, the chatot of different kinds. Whereas in this week's reading, in Tsav, we go through that list again, but in kind of reverse order. We start off with the Mincha, the thanking God, the vegetarian sacrifice. Instead of in Vayikra, we focused first on the quadrupeds and then we moved down to birds and finally we came to the vegetarian. This week, the vegetarian one, if you like, comes first. From the Mincha, then we go on to the Chatat, the sin offerings of the various kinds, including the guilt offering, the Asham. And then finally we come to the Shlamim, the ones that you share with other people. The difference between the two is that part one in Vayikra deals with the actual contents of the different sacrifices, whereas in Tsav, we're going to deal with the ceremonial and how the priests carried out these different sacrifices. And that's why there is a difference in emphasis between the first section, which deals with God at the top, the community in the middle, and individuals at the bottom. And this time, although we have God at the top, we consider the individuals in terms of what they can afford and can't afford. We move on to their sins, and then we come to the community and the relationship with God. These two elements are very important. In other words, we have our own personal relationship with God, but on the other hand, that relationship with God is supposed to improve our relationship with other people. That's why we have to balance God and community. The purpose of the mitzvot is to enhance both relationships, the God relationship and the community relationship. And the sacrificial system is important in that respect because, bear this in mind, in those days, the sacrificial system was the only thing that got the whole of the community to come together. There were no synagogues, there were no prayer houses or study halls, and therefore you came together to watch the sacrificial system. They had no entertainment in those days either, so this was terribly important. People would talk about what they saw, about what they felt, and would try to get there as often as they could to experience this incredible ceremonial with the priests in these amazing dress and outfits. You might wonder why it was so important, but bear in mind, that was what got the community together, gave them this feeling of togetherness, of being part of something so much larger. And that is a challenge we have all the time in religious matters. We have to balance our own personal feelings, our prayers, our meditation, our experiences, with the need of being part of a community. And so whether we do it through sacrifices, whether we do it through some other way, even though times have changed, the message remains the same.